Good afternoon, class. Welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Raipur. You can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. I had sent several emails regarding the course, asking you to explore the course. And the way I've set it up, when you go to the home page, just follow these numbers, starting with number 1, and then number 2, class philosophy, number 3, the announcements, and number 4, the syllabus, and so forth. So the first step, there was a 1 minute, maybe 2-minute clip welcoming you to the course. I'm glad to have you here. The next one is the class philosophy. You want to look at that.
Class philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The primary objectives of our precalculus trigonometry include the foundational principles of trigonometry, which explores the relationship between the sides and angles of triangles. It uses geometrical constructions to determine the measurement of angles from the ratio of the lengths of the sides. The course starts with the review of functions and graphs, and moves on to basics of trigonometry, angles, degrees, triangles, and will proceed to cover trigonometric functions and their graphs, trigonometric identities, trigonometric equations, laws of sine and cosine, complex numbers, the complex plane, de Moivre's theorem, and instructor's contact information. Email me via Canvas or use the email address era.eraeipor@csulb.edu, and I reply from Monday to Friday within 24 hours.
Going back to the home page of Canvas. The third one is the announcements, and I'm going to put this in student mode. The announcements are set such that they will be sent to students as an email also. If for any reason you miss any of those, you can go back to your Canvas and the announcement and you find them. There was a recorded orientation. It's an older one, and the new one, I will post it here. Welcome on orientation and welcome to your virtual course. I sent you several emails just to get you to explore the course. So that's as far as the announcements are concerned, and more of them will be coming your way. The next one, number 4, so we just follow the numbers. Number 4 discusses the syllabus, modules, and so forth. Before we move on, I want to go to the end of the page and show you this is where you attend the office hours if you have any questions. Office hours. And that's the Zoom link for it. However, to attend all class meetings, you click on the Zoom meeting on the left navigation bar on your homepage of Canvas, this one. And then you just join the class. So we don't want to mix them up, everybody. Going back to the homepage, now it's time to discuss the rest. So let's go to the syllabus. By the way, you can go to syllabus there or on the left navigation bar. The first one is the syllabus. Gives you the information about the course, including the section number and the time that we meet, the Zoom meeting. And then you see various topics. You can look at the topic of interest. So quickly, the course description, the material, the text is by OpenStax and it's free. Everything is free in this course. I've set it up so you don't have to pay for anything. The digital platform where you do the homework is through my OpenMath and it's free. Here's the calendar. And every few weeks we have an exam. I have set up your exam such that every exam takes place on Saturdays. The week of the exam, you receive an email. It has the information about the exam as well as the password. You can take the exam anytime you want before a student. Okay. The only exam that doesn't follow that is the final. The final exam is comprehensive and the date is set up by the campus and we follow that. Everything else, the other 4 exams take place on Saturdays. Calculators, you may use a graphing calculator for the course, however, during the exam, it may not be allowed. Tech support for the publisher, for the Canvas, for the campus are given here in case you need help. Math Tutorial Center is available to you for free. Here's their website, everybody. The grading policy, we have 4 exams worth 400 points, 100 points each. Homework is 300 points. The final exam is also worth 300 points. Although comprehensive, it's based on the previous exams. So it makes it nice and easy. And it's a point system as far as the grading is concerned. The total points would be 1,000. 90% or above, that means 900 points or more gives you an A. 80%, 800 to 899 gives you a B, so on and so forth. Also, your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score. If the final score is good, meaning 80% or higher, homework is good, that means 95% or higher, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. If I do those and the letter grade doesn't change, it defeats the purpose. There is no makeup policy unless you have a documentation that the university accepts. However, remember you have the whole week to take the exam, so there's no need for that. Course late work, some assignments with a 10% reduction can be done late, but I don't recommend that because normally those who use the late pass have a hard time catching up. The thing that is interesting, and I want everybody to pay attention to, it's what's called CSULB Study 36. According to that, we need 3 hours per unit, so 3 times the number of unit hours. This is a 3-unit course, so we need 9 hours per week to do well in this course, okay? Dropping policy, I just follow the campus policy. There are other informations here. CSULB commitment. Basic needs. Summary steps to success. Read your notes, do the problems in your notes repeatedly. Study the corresponding sections by carefully studying the lecture. Creating formula sheet. Creating index cards really is helpful and includes all the theorems and formula covered. Doing the examples and doing the homework. Again, the office hours posted here as well as the homepage of Canvas with all the information as far as the time, the Zoom meeting, and everything else. So that's the syllabus, everyone. The next one is the calendar, Excel calendar, which also has the date of the exams. All of them take place on Saturday except the final. And the first assignment we are going to do today. It's introduction to my open math, and the next one is algebra review. They're coming up right away. And I want to go back to the home page of Canvas. So what is left is the modules, but before that, let me show you the discussions on the left navigation bar. We have the student bios. I put mine as an example. If you want to put your bio so students, your fellow students get to know you, that would be nice. And if anybody wants to put a comment, please do so with utmost respect for your fellow student. Always use encouragement. The next one is FAQ, frequently asked questions. The past students ask questions and I compile theirs. And if there is more, I will do it again. Before you email me with your questions, please read this. A lot of your questions must be already answered. For example, where to find the exam password, announcements with the exam title are emailed to students and have all the information, including the exam password. And of course, you can find it under the announcements when the time comes. Going back to the home page of Canvas. Now you can click on the modules here or the modules on the left navigation bar, which contains practice test, PowerPoint, solution to practice test, homework, so on and so forth. So if we go to modules, what do we find here? So let me just recap what we have here, and then we go over one by one. First, at the very top, see this one, this is where you register with your digital platform, My Open Math. This is recorded practice test. I will show you in a moment. For now, you want to be concerned with module 1. But what do we find before that? This stuff, these are all algebra review and prereq, so that you be ready to move on with the course. You have to pay attention to that. So what do you find here? Algebra review. You can download it and put it in slide mode and watch that. And it does have a number of chapters covered from algebra. It's not a lot. I think it's about 70 pages, but 70 pages that give you the synopsis of everything you need before you tackle trigonometry. It's got everything. If you download, you put it in slide mode, it doesn't give you the solution. It just gives you the question. And then when you click next, it gives you the step-by-step solution. So algebra review. I have a PowerPoint which has just about everything you need to get started with the course. This is the practice homework. Again, this is algebra review, everybody. And again, it's not a lot, but what it does, it tells you whether you're ready to move on or not. Excuse me. Going back to the module, so we are looking at the prereq module. Now, the last part on that, it does have chapters 1, 2, and 3, 4 of pre-calculus. If you click on that, for example, it gives you chapter 1, chapter 2, and the rest of it. For example, this one, you can bring up the section. And if you download it, you put it in slide mode. It has everything you need to get ready for the course. I can't emphasize the importance of this part, everybody. This prereq module. This tells you whether you're ready for the course or not. Please pay attention to that. Ultimately, it's the algebra review. The course starts with exam 1 module, exam 2 module, and so on and so forth, okay? And I'm going to cover those. Before I cover those, also at the end, you have this graphing calculator commands. Let me show you. I have put the information about the TI calculator that you may be able to download as an emulator. If you could do that, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't make it work. If you can make it work, it will look like this. Okay? In case. If you can't, take a look. These are some free calculators online. Okay? So you can get those. And then we have the various commands I've given you in case you need. All right. So going back to the modules, this was the last one. And of course, the last one also has the final exam review. So we mentioned the prereq and now exam 1 module. What do you find here? I want to discuss this one. First and foremost, you have a practice test. The reason I put the practice test first, because I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. And I would like you to spend about 5 minutes reading this and try to do 1, maximum 2 questions per day. That's all you have to do. 1 question per day. One of those, that's all. What happens on the week of the exam, you're more than ready to take the exam. And when would you do that? After you do your homework, after you do your, you watch the PowerPoints, after you've been through the lecture, okay? 1 or 2 questions per day. Now, the next one is, this is where you find the PowerPoints. When I go over the lecture, okay, these are the posted, okay, in the form of a PDF file or PowerPoints. If I, for example, click on that, you have these PowerPoints that we are going to lecture on. So you don't have to write anything when I lecture. When it comes to definitions, proofs, theorems, what do you have to write? You have to write the solution to the examples. Even the examples themselves, you don't have to write. Here's example 1. As you can see, you have the question and you don't see a solution. If you look at example 2, the same thing, you see the questions, not the solution. So the solutions we go over in class. Okay. So module 1, exam 1 module, we have the practice test. We have the PowerPoints. And here's the key to practice test. So not only we have the practice test, we also have the key to those. So after you do that, you consult the key, make sure you have it right. So here's the practice test. That was the algebra review. I think I probably closed it up. Yeah, these are the prereqs. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we have the practice test. We have the keys to practice test. We have the PowerPoints. So again, for this exam 1 module, we have the practice test. We have the PowerPoints. We have the key to that. And over here, right here, which says recorded practice test lectures, you can find, and this is the latest one, 2023. 2024 is coming up, but the one that we have, the latest one is this one. Notice if you click on it, you find the lectures for various sections that we have covered. And this is the exam review, which basically covers those practice tests mainly. So not only we have for each module, we have a practice test, PowerPoints, key to the practice test. On the recorded practice test, we also have detailed solution. So we covered everything here. What is this one? Let me put this in student mode. And this is where you register with my OpenMath. What it does, it asks you for the username password if you have an account already. And if you don't, you just create an account. So what happens when you create an account? You can go to my OpenMath. So let me give you the synopsis of what you find here, and then we cover that. First and foremost, at the very top, you find the introductory assignment to my OpenMath. This is just to get you familiar with my OpenMath. Then the algebra review, both of which are due. One of them is due tomorrow, and one of them is due in a couple of days. This one will be done today. Then the exams, I put them at top, so you don't have to worry about it at this point, but I want to make sure that everybody knows where to find them. Then we have the course description. Look at the calendar. This calendar has the information you need for your assignments. One thing I want to make a point of, number one, is you can change the number of weeks. Number two, this introductory assignment is due soon, okay, which is tomorrow. We are going to do it today, and algebra review is due a couple of days later. Look at the date for the first exam, and all of this homework are due before exam 1. What does it mean? Should I wait until that day to do the exam, do the homework? Absolutely not. Anytime I finish a section, you have to finish the homework. Otherwise, you will be behind. Okay, class? Then we have module 1, 2, 3, and 4, just the way we have it for Canvas. So what is module 0? As the name indicates, various resources. So when you go to this one, you can find the text, various parts of the text here. or if you click on this, okay, which is mostly a reference, how to use a late pass calendar, so on and so forth. Free online calculators, everybody, free online calculators. Videos as to how to use them. And I expanded it. Let me minimize that. So what is module 0? Resources. Please take a look at them at least once. If you want to use any of those calculators, get familiar with that. Then under module 1, we have the chapters we cover with the homework and everything else. I will show you in a moment again, but before that, I want to look at this last one. After module 4, I have put module review. This is not graded, everybody. So what is it? If you want to practice with functions, linear functions, complex numbers, quadratic functions, so on and so forth, it's here. It's not part of this course. It's the part that you're supposed to know. So this module is for review. Okay, everybody? So at the very top, you start with this assignment. So I want to show you how this thing works. I'm going to put this number here. The moment I click on the box, it opens a math editor. So I put 84.0899. Then it says rounded to the nearest hundreds. That's number 8. So 84.08. Next to it is 9, goes up to 9. 84.09. It says divided by 0, we can't. It's undefined, doesn't have it. We say it's DNE, does not exist. And if I submit the question, the moment I submit the question, it registers my grade. And I got it right. Number 2, number 1/3 is 0.3 bar. We want to answer it. And I want to answer this as 0.5, which is a wrong answer on purpose. When I submit the question, clearly it says it's wrong. Why did I do that? Because I want you to see all you have to do, get a similar question and redo the question. It happened to give me the same question again. So 0 point, this time I'm going to put bunch of 3s. When I submit the question, now it gives me my credit. Meaning, you make a mistake, big deal, get a similar question. Something comes up, I can't finish off. If I click done, here's what happens. It shows that my score so far is 15.4% on this, and it keeps it until it expires. If I come back before the expiration date, I can improve that by finishing off the unattempted questions. I can do that. Of course, after the due date, then it registers this one as my grade. I can either resume or exit. You can resume anytime before the due date. For algebra review is the same. What I want to show you here is the following. For algebra review class, for example, this is a vertical line, and vertical line, the slope is undefined. They don't have it. We put DNE and submit the question. The reason I'm showing you this, because I want to show you a lot of questions have some sort of a help. In this case is the written example. Same thing here, but this one has a video help. So the point being, as you do the question, many of them do have help, which makes it really fantastic. So again, just as before, you've done this. Make sure you just, when you're done with the question, you can go back and finish the rest of it in order for you to get full credit. But whatever question you finish, they do write, they do put the grade for that one for you. Now, what you need to do, you have to work on module 1. So first and foremost, you expand module 1. Here's the chapter 5. It gives you where you can find the text. If you click on it, it brings up the text. You have the objectives. 5.1. It has some video lessons. It has some video examples. None of them is really long. You can look at them and, or at least if you don't have time, you can go back and forth. Then we have video assignments and the actual assignments. The video assignments contain a couple of videos and some questions. In this case, you can see it has 5 questions. It's not a lot, everybody. This happened to have 2 parts, video assignment 5.1b, and then the actual assignment is here. All of them, you do receive points for them. You have to do them. But again, I wanted to show you that some of these questions, if you have a difficult time with that, they do have a question help. In this case, there is a video. Okay. And it's not a lot. I think it's about 10 questions, this one. If by any chance you come across any broken video, just let me know. And this is it. Let me quickly recap what we just discussed. When you go to the home page of Canvas, first we have the welcoming message. Then we have the class philosophy. We looked at the announcements that have been sent to you and more is coming your way. We mentioned this is the office hours. At the bottom of the home page, you have the information about the office hours. However, class meeting is through Zoom meeting on the left navigation bar. We looked at the syllabus. We have the actual syllabus and the Excel calendar. And as far as the discussion is concerned, we have the student bios and frequently asked questions. The last one here would be the modules. Under the modules, at the end, there are some resources like graphing calculator and final exam review. This is the prereq. Everything is about prior knowledge of mathematics. We're concerned with the first module. You have the calculus, you have the practice test, you have the PowerPoints, you have the key to the PowerPoints, to the practice test, and you have the detailed solution recorded. And at the very top here, this is the one that takes you to my Open Math. When you go to my Open Math, you start at the very top with Introduction to my Open Math. Then you do the algebra review. Module 0 contains all the resources that are free. You want to explore, see if you can use any of it. Module 1 is where you start. Chapter 5, section 5.1, videos, video assignment, and the actual assignment. So I believe it's pretty straightforward. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.